Prominent advocate Dali Mpofu is set to appear before the Legal Practice Council's LPC Disciplinary Committee on 30th April 2025, where he will face 7 serious charges of professional misconduct. These charges stem from multiple incidents over the past several years, in which Mpofu is accused of threatening public officials, making defamatory remarks, and engaging in conduct that allegedly brings the legal profession into disrepute. The LPC's charge sheet cites various complaints against him, although it does not identify the individual complainants. Advocate Dali Mpofu once said, "Your day will come to Kyanki." At the heart of the first charge is Mpofu's outburst during the high-profile Section 194 impeachment inquiry into the fitness of former public protector Julius Mkhwebane. On 13 September 2022, Mpofu, representing Mkhwebane, allegedly lashed out at the chairperson of the inquiry, Dali Mkhwebane, issuing what appeared to be a veiled threat. He said, "Mr. Kyanki, you are going to regret this. I'm telling you now, your day will come. I'm a senior to you in many ways, not just in age, but in many ways, and you know it. So you have no right to abuse me, but fine, you've got the power now. You can exercise it, but you'll pay one day." He ended his tirade with the line, "Actually, it is not a threat, it's a promise." According to the LPC, such remarks contravene the Code of Conduct for legal practitioners by undermining the dignity of the profession and the integrity of legal proceedings. Advocate Dali Mpofu's conduct during Judicial Service Commission JSC interviews has also drawn sharp criticism. In Charge 5 of the LPC complaint, he is accused of making an inappropriate comment during the February 2022 interview of the then Supreme Court of Appeal President Justice Mandisa Maya. The LPC says Mpofu's remark, where he stated, "And we spent our nights together," carried sexual innuendo, was discriminatory, and violated professional decorum. In a separate JSC hearing held earlier that same month, Mpofu allegedly engaged in what the LPC termed character assassination, where he questioned Gauteng Judge President Dunstan Mlambo. Mpofu insinuated that Mlambo was involved in the sexual harassment of aspiring female judges, yet he failed to provide any substantiating evidence. This forms the basis of one of the most serious charges, which alleges Mpofu compromised both the dignity of the judiciary and the integrity of the legal profession. Undermining mental health and misconduct toward judges, Charge 4 involves Mpofu's conduct during the cross-examination of former SARS executive Johan van Logenberg on 15 July 2022. The LPC says Mpofu questioned van Logenberg's mental health, suggesting he might be psychologically unstable without a factual basis. Another incident cited in the complaint dates back to 10 November 2021, when Mpofu allegedly sent a letter to Judge Ralinga Twala and Opperman during the Moyo versus All Mutual Ltd matter. The letter, according to the LPC, reprimanded and lectured the judge's behavior the court described as disquieting. The LPC asserts this conduct breached Mpofu's duty to uphold the law, act in the interest of justice, and maintained ethical standards. Mpofu's reputation has increasingly come under scrutiny. In October 2024, it was reported how his decision to pursue an appeal on behalf of Mkhwebane involving a recusal matter was sharply criticized by the SCA judge Nathan Ponan. Ponan described the appeal as dead on arrival and lambasted Mpofu's courtroom style as overly theatrical, filled with soapbox oratory, empty rhetoric, political posturing, and lacking the legal rigor expected of appellate counsel. Theatrical gestures and long-winded dismissive non-sequiturs have no place in a courtroom. Legal analyst Professor Pierre Divorce supported Ponan's assessment, suggesting that Mpofu's argument often appeared tailored for a political audience, such as supporters of the EFF or Umkhonto weSizwe Party, rather than for the judges presiding over the matters. Another legal expert, Mpumelelo Zikalala, told the Citizen News that the dressing down from Judge Ponan dealt a lasting blow to Mpofu's legacy, and said, "You are only as good as your last case. Now in this case, you have his name, which will always remain there. Even future generations are going to read it and say there was one advocate Mpofu that was written to in this particular manner. Mpofu is no stranger to controversy. In July 2022, the LPC cleared him of misconduct for an infamous exchange during the Zondo Commission, where he told Advocate Michelle Leroux to shut up while cross-examining former Minister Pravin Gordhan. At the time, Mpofu argued that the phrase when said in isiXhosa will not be deemed rude. The investigating committee ultimately agreed, but the incident added fuel to the broader debate about his courtroom conduct. Now, more than 2 years since some of these incidents first drew public criticism, Mpofu will formally face the LPC's disciplinary committee. The outcome of these proceedings could have serious implications for his legal career and public image, particularly as questions persist about motivations and methods in high-stakes, politically charged cases. Mpofu, once regarded as one of the country's most formidable legal minds, is now battling to preserve what remains of a fractured professional reputation. The Economic Freedom Fighters leader Julius Malema has also subtly responded to the news that former senior EFF member and now the MK party member Dali Mpofu is facing misconduct charges laid by the Legal Practice Council. While Malema did not directly comment, he made his stance known by reposting a tweet that appeared to mock Advocate Mpofu. The tweet was an old one originally posted by Mpofu himself during the presidency of Jacob Zuma. In that tweet, Mpofu referenced former ANC Secretary General Ace Magashule's statement that they will follow Zuma wherever he goes, to which Mpofu added, "Good idea, because Jacob Zuma is going to jail." When resharing the tweet was captioned, "What I love is that history has no blank pages." This was widely interpreted as a subtle dig at Mpofu, now finding himself in a difficult legal position years after publicly mocking others. The post has sparked discussion online, with many interpreting Malema's move as celebrating Mpofu's current troubles. Meanwhile, the former public protector and current member of parliament for Umkhonto weSizwe Party, Dali Mkhwebane, has spoken out following reports that the Legal Practice Council, LPC of South Africa, intends to bring a court application to have her removed from the role of advocate. In an interview on Newsroom Africa, Mkhwebane confirmed that she has not formally received any charge regarding the move, but expressed surprise after learning about it via a social media post on X app. In 2023, Mkhwebane was impeached for incompetence and misconduct, rendering her unfit to hold the office of public protector. Mkhwebane said she views the LPC's action as politically motivated and part of a broader campaign of persecution against her, stemming from a previous work, including the CS report, CR17 report, and investigations into the so-called Rock Unit and Phala Phala scandal. She believes these issues contributed to her removal as public protector and has pointed to political shifts at the LPC as a factor in the decision to pursue this court application, and said, I think it's political more than anything, and I think as well the persecution still continues. She believes the attempt to strike her off the advocate role is another form of targeted harassment. She recalled a similar failed attempt when advocate Paul Hoffman had taken her to court without success. Mkhwebane emphasized that she is not actively practicing as an advocate and questioned the legal basis behind such action. When asked about the potential impact of losing her advocate title, Mkhwebane downplayed its significance and said, "Being an advocate is a title I acquired through my hard work. My qualifications and experience remain intact." Mkhwebane pointed to her extensive background in law, including her service in roles such as the Director of Refugee Affairs and Senior Investigator, highlighting her achievements, including the historic 3 clean audits during her tenure as public protector. She also hinted that this could be a political struggle, citing the ongoing persecution of former President Jacob Zuma as an example. She mentioned that she has engaged her political party on the matter and they are preparing a response to the LPC's actions, and said definitely the LPC will have to account. They are abusing their power and I'm considering lodging a complaint with the Public Protector's Office. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.